Hello, I'm Shylin and I sew. In this video, you're going to see how I make 4 different pillowcases for our new living room. I'm going to have a striped pillowcase, a zigzag style pillowcase that I use quilting techniques for, and 2 simpler pillowcases at the end of the video that still look really nice when it's all put together. So let's get started. If you already have pillowcases, you can remove them from the pillow that you have and measure them and use that as the measurement for your pillows. So for the first pillowcase, I'm creating a striped pillowcase in pink and white fabric. What I measured out was 5 strips of pink fabric and 5 strips of white fabric in 2.5 inches each, and that would create 2-inch stripes with the seam allowance being 1/4 of an inch on both sides. Once I cut all the strips out, I put them together in alternating colors and I sewed them all together. Since I made it one really long piece of fabric, all I did here was I folded it over on the back, making sure that it overlapped at least 2 inches, and sewed down the 2 sides together. That would create an opening on the back of the pillow that would allow me to put the pillowcase or the pillow inside the pillowcase. So once the sides are sewn down, all I have to do is flip the pillowcase right sides out and then stuff the pillowcase with the old pillow. And there it is, a striped pillowcase in the pink and white fabric that I chose. So the next pillowcase I'm making is a bit more work than the first one because I'm going to be doing a quilted pillowcase, or at least a quilting technique. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the teal and white fabric in 2 7/8 inch strips, and then I will cut them out into 2 7/8 inch squares from there. And the reason for that is the 7/8 inch excess is going to be the seam allowance for the quilting technique that I'm going to show you guys, and that's going to create 2-inch squares in the end. Once I'm finished cutting all of this out, I'll have 50 teal squares and 50 white squares that I'm going to turn into what's called a half square triangle. And you guys will see why this is called a half square triangle. First, I will take a teal and a white piece of fabric and I put them together, and then I mark a diagonal line from one point of the square all the way to the other side. That line is what I'm going to follow when I sew a 1/4 of an inch on one side and a 1/4 of an inch on the other side, sewing 2 lines basically. Once that's sewn together, I'm going to cut the square in half right on that line that I drew earlier. And then I'm going to open it and I'm going to press it open. And now I've created 2 squares that have a half of the triangle in one color and the other half in the other color. And that's why it's called a half square triangle. Now I'm going to do all of the 50 pieces of the teal and the white fabric together, creating 100 half square triangles in teal and white. So I wanted to show you guys the half square triangle because it's a really versatile technique in terms of creating different designs just from multiple of these half square triangles, as you can see here. So all you have to do is kind of play around with how you want to move all the pieces and create the shapes that you want. I ended up choosing a zigzag pattern, so that's this last one here, and that's what I'm going to do for the whole pillow. So like I said, I have to do all 50 of the teal and 50 of the white pieces and sew them together so I can create 100 half square triangles. And then what I did here was I daisy chained them together to make it a little bit faster. I just sewed all the pieces together at once without cutting the thread in between. So here is all of the 100 pieces of fabric sewn together. And I still have to do the other side of the half square triangle so I can cut it in half. So once everything's sewn down on both sides of the line that I drew, I can cut them in half and press them all open to have this beautiful zigzag design. So once all of those are sewn together, I've also cut out 2 pieces on the back that again overlap at least 2 inches in the middle there. And I'm going to sew that down on the back to create this pillowcase. So this last one is going to be a lot easier than the first 2 that I showed you, but it still looks really nice. What I did here was I put the teal and the pink fabrics right on top of each other so I can cut them out at the same time. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a 6-inch wide strip and then an 11-inch and then a 6-inch. So once it's all sewn together, it'll be 5, 10, and 5 inches, and the colors will alternate. And then like I did in the other pillowcases, I had 2 back pieces on the back that overlapped a little bit and right in the middle. Once it's all sewn together, once again, flip it right sides out and put your pillow in your new pillowcase. And there you have it. 4 matching pillows. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of my videos, I will be posting more home decor style sewing stuff because I did just move into this house. I will also go back to sewing some more dresses and that sort of thing soon once my studio gets more set up. So if you want to keep watching my videos, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to my channel.